Hey guys, it's Diamondos. I'm back again today here with another deck tech for you. Yeah, yesterday we did cycling, and today we're going to look at Sultai Midrange. So if you're unfamiliar, Sultai means the color combination of island, swamp, and forest. In a lot of people's opinion, it's one of the best color combinations because it has access to some of the most powerful cards. There's a lot to that, but anyway, midrange means it can go a little bit aggro, it can go a little bit control. Well, not necessarily aggro with this deck, but you know, we're doing stuff here in the middle. We got things like Tamiyo, we can play some Hydroid Krasis early. We got Questing Beast, so let's go over it card by card here. We have Drown in the Loch. It's a 2-mana instant. You can choose one. Counter target spell with converted mana cost less or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost less or equal to the number of cards in that player's graveyard. So it's a really versatile card, so we're just running 2 copies here. 2 copies of Tyrant Scorn, 2-mana instant. You choose one, and destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, or return target creature to its owner's hand. So it's dual spell. You can bounce things like your Hydroid Krasis back to your hand to get more cards, which is really good. You can also bounce this to get another trigger if you want. We have Growth Spiral. It's really cool art. Seb McKinnon is super stellar at art. If you haven't checked him out, you really should. Anyway, this is a 2-mana instant. Draw a card, and you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So it's 2-mana ramp and cantrip. We are running 3 Hydroid Krasis, staple in these colors. Green, blue, and X. Flying Trample. And when you cast a spell, you gain X life and draw half X cards, round down each time. And it enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it, so it scales throughout the game. And if you get a bunch of mana, you're going to get a lot of cards, a lot of life, and a big guy. It's just everything you want in a magic card. 4 Euro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. 3 mana 6/6. When he enters the battlefield, you can sack it unless it escaped. And whenever Euro enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life and draw a card, and then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. And it escapes for 4. You exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. This is a good early play to help ramp you up, and also a good finisher for the late game. 1 Cry the Carnarium in the main, just to try to catch some creatures off guard. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile all creature cards in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. And if a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Exiling is really good for other graveyard decks and other Lyris decks. Running 1 copy of Unmoored Ego, 3 mana sorcery. Choose card names, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards of that name and exile them. So this is very specific removal. You literally name whatever card you want and you can go take it. So this card benefits from having a good knowledge of the format and what people are playing. Usually by turn 2 I can pinpoint exactly what my opponent's playing just from sheer experience and memory. So this can help snipe out their win condition. I'll probably know what they're running for their win condition. I can go take that. Questing Beast, 4 mana 4/4, Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. I was confused when they printed this card, it's busted. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that players control. So this is just a really good mid-range creature here. We're running 2 Extinction Events, 4 mana sorceries. You choose odd or even, exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value. Pretty good sweeper. It doesn't hit everything, but a lot of the times it'll hit the things that are important enough for you to win the game. 1 copy of Ritual of Soot. It's another sweeper here with a condition. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less, so it doesn't hit anything 4 or above. But another sweeper here. We're running 1 copy of Tamiyo, Collector of Tales, 4 mana Planeswalker. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard cards or sacrifice permanents. And you can upticker. Choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards with the chosen name from among them into your hand and the rest into the graveyard. So it's a good way to fish out some Hydroid Krasises, get a couple more of these and some more of our win conditions. And you can -3 and return target card from your graveyard to your hand, which is really good. You can do that the turn you play her and she still lives too. I have there as the title, well, the cover of the deck here, because it kind of symbolizes what we're doing here. Just a nice good mid-range deck and just trying to grind out value. 2 copies of Cavalier of Thorns, 5 mana, 5/6. He's got reach. And when he enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library and put a land card from among them onto the battlefield and the rest into your graveyard. And when Cavalier of Thorns dies, you may exile it, and if you do, put another target card from your graveyard on the top of your library. Win conditions, value engine, everything we want. 4 copies of Shark Typhoon, new card from Ikoria, 6 mana enchantment. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create an XX blue shark creature token with flying sharks, because why not? Where X is that spell's converted mana cost. You can also cycle this card when it's in your hand for 2 mana and X. When you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. So it's super versatile, and it's going to close out the game for your opponent if they don't deal with it. 3 copies of Casualties of War, 6 mana sorcery. You can choose 1 or more. You can choose all of these if you want, or 2 or 3. Destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. Wicked good removal. If you cast this, you usually win if it resolves. For our mana base, we're running 4 copies of Fabled Passage because we're running a 3-color deck to help make sure we get the right colors we need. Ikoria introduced this tapped tri-land Zagoth Triome, however you pronounce that. It produces all colors of the mana we want. You can also cycle it if we have enough mana for what we want. Really good card. 4 copies of Breeding Pool, it's the green-blue Shockland. 2 copies of Temple of Malady. M20 tap Scrylands. Overgrown Tomb is the Swamp Forest Shockland. 4 copies of Watery Grave, Shockland for blue-black. 3 copies of Forest, 2 Swamp, 2 Islands. We want to run basics because of Fabled Passage. In the sideboard, we're running 4 Cerulean Drakes. It's really good against red. Mystical Dispute's really good against blue. Cry the Carnarium. I'm sorry, I should go over these. 2 mana, 1/1 flying, protection from red. Sacrifice, and you can counter target spell that counters you, so any lethal spell that could kill you, you can get out of reach and stuff like that. So against red, you're going to bring this in. Blue, this card's super good against blue. Mystical Dispute, 3 mana instant. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets a blue spell, and you can counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. We got 2 copies of Cry the Carnarium. 3 mana sorcery, all creatures get -2/-2. We got the 1 copy here, but if we run into more a deck that goes really wide with tokens, like the Knights deck I played a couple days ago, you can bring this in and it's really effective against them. 2 more copies of Unmoored Ego. If it's against a nice slow matchup, another mid-range matchup control, bring both of these in to take out those key pieces from my opponent so I can win while having my key pieces. 1 more copy of Ritual of Soot for those creature matchups that will come into these requirements. We went over that in the main deck. 2 copies of Thought Distortion, 6 mana sorcery, it can't be countered, and target opponent reveals their hand. Then exile all non-creature, non-land cards from that player's hand and graveyard. So control decks that are looking to keep their whole library in their hand, this is really good against. Generally, it's going to be blue because it can't be countered. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some games today. See how we do. If you like this content and want to see more deck techs in the future, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers. That would be awesome, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.